Hello, everybody. Um, it's me again, Katrina Benson, and I wanted to do a video to share my experience when I visited heaven. Um, I want to share this experience to give you all um, increase your hope, increase your faith, and also to bear witness to it being another side besides this, because sometimes we go through things and we say it got to be a better way, so it got to be something better after this. So I just want to share my experience when I visited heaven. um, the first time that I attempted or almost got close to visiting heaven, I was pretty young, maybe in my teens, and I had a dream, and in the dream I woke up and I was at the gates of heaven. I was standing on the outside the gates of heaven, and I was standing there, and it was like a tall gates, and it was like a wall surrounding it almost. Um, and I stood at the gates, and it's like I saw an angel off to my right, like the angel was sitting at a desk, like looking at a book or something, like checking names on a book or something. I don't know. And I was standing at the gates of heaven, and I heard the voice of God say to me, I have to grow stronger before I'm able to go inside to see. Um, at the time, I used to hear my aunt Kate's experience of when God allowed her to see heaven. And no, actually, I was older than my teens. I was actually in the midst of growing spiritually, actually. So this is after I gave my life to Christ. And I would hear her stories of how the Lord allowed her to experience certain things in heaven. And when I had this dream, I was unable to share in the experience because I wasn't as mature as I needed to be spiritually to see. All right. Um, After that, God really dealt with me on a one-on-one basis, and I would talk to the Lord daily, 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 and I felt revelations in my mind, meaning I felt and I just knew things about the supernatural realm that no one told me. It's like He dropped things in my spirit, and I just knew it. And one time I was talking to the Lord, and I said, Lord, I feel like if I really seriously put my mind to something or think on something, that I'll travel into a realm that I went too far. And the Lord started laughing, and He said to me, I know how far you can go. I, as far as you could go is as far as I let you go. And He found that funny that I even thought that. Like the Lord has a personality, a sense of humor. He really does. Like he he smiles, he laughs, and things like that. Um, it was about a few years in my walk with Christ. Um, my grandmother had passed away, and I prayed to God to let me talk with her again. And I asked Him, could I talk to her? Um, I had a dream a couple of days later. God had gave me a dream. In the dream, I woke up and I was in some land, a land that looks like a safari or something, like a beautiful island or something. Like it was a beautiful place in Africa or something. It was beautiful. And I was standing by this well, and I'm standing there, and my grandmother appeared. And I'm looking at my grandmother, and she looked like herself. She dressed like she would have dressed on Earth. And I'm looking at her, And she said to me, well, me and her converse a little, and she told me it's some things she wanted me to tell my family. And I said, hold up, Grandma, hold up, because I was so spiritually mature at this moment that I knew when I was dreaming. I knew the difference between being on earth and when I'm in a dream God gave me. When I'm in a dream, the Lord trying to show me something. When I'm in a dream, God's warning me. I was spiritually mature enough to know, know I'm in a dream, to know I'm in a spiritual place. And when she was telling me, when she told me it's something she needed me to tell the family, I knew I was in a spiritual place and I would wake up. So I said to her, let me write it down. And in the dream, let me tell you this. In the dream, when I said let me write it down, and I envisioned I needed like a pad and pen, it appeared to be, and it was sitting on this well. And as I written down what my grandmother told me, it was being written in my memory bank. So in the dream, I'm writing it on this pad, but it's being stored in me because I'm recording it. I wake up and remember everything I wrote down on the pad. And one of the things my grandmother told me to tell my family is, it's not her faith that's going to get us into heaven, but our own faith. And my grandmother also told us to love one another. And those were the two basic things she told me. I don't recall at this moment if it was nothing else, because I know we had a general conversation. And when my grandma was finished telling me what she was telling me, I noticed it was some gates behind her, and she walked through these gates, but I couldn't follow her through the gates. A few months, weeks after that dream, I had a dream. I woke up and I was what looked like her house on earth, but it looked like her house on earth on the inside, but it was clearly a different place. And in the dream, it was like home. It was like my grandmother's house. It's weird because she's actually living up there. Like she has a place to live, and it resembles in ways her house on earth, kind of, sort of. It's like her house in heaven is her heart's desire, what she would like, or the things she will want. And in the dream, my grandmother was still herself, still loving, caring, and doing things for people. In the dream, she came in from like a market. Like in heaven, they have markets and things, but you don't buy nothing or nothing like that. And you don't need to eat. Like, you don't need to eat to survive or nothing like that. But they have real life things. Like how the world has it. Like the world is like little imitations and bits and pieces of heaven, kind of, sort of. And she walked in with a bag of bananas. Now, now I'm spiritually mature to know I'm in her house in heaven. So I understand I'm not on earth. So in the dream, I say, Grandma, can I have a banana? And I opened it and I ate it. Now on earth, I'm allergic to bananas. But I knew I was in a heavenly place. I knew I was in heaven. So I ate it. And it tastes pretty good. And I had no reaction, of course. No thought of, no signs of no type of reaction. I was able to eat it. And my grandmother told me in a dream that she's about to make banana pudding for a women's meeting or like a gathering or something. So in heaven, it's still life going on. Like they still have services. They still meet. They still talk. People still know one another. They still walk together. They're still living up there. You're still living up there. Also in the dream, I walked outside of my grandmother's house and I saw other homes, other big, beautiful homes. and it was sunny outside, and the temperature was like a mellow temperature, like not hot, not cold. It's like it's no such thing as weather. It's just one set way. You don't feel hot, you don't feel cold, you don't feel breezes or nothing. It's like and just atmosphere. It's like weather don't exist. Also, I noticed it was sunny outside, but no sun in the sky. So I knew that the light was coming from the God, like it was coming from God. There's no sun up there. It's no hot, humid heat. It's just, it just is almost. It just is what it is. The grass and like colors up there, like how we have colors here, like red, blue, green. Like those colors don't even really exist. It's like the colors there. If you was to see the color, like if you was to see a heavenly color on earth, it might blind you. Like it's so, it's like everything is alive up there. Like colors are maxed out. Like the banana was beyond. It was pure, like no blemish. Like it's no blemish. Nothing dies. Nothing rots. Nothing gets old. Everything is pure. Heaven is pure. It's, and also in heaven nothing is grown. It's just created. Like you never, if you step on the grass in heaven, you won't step on it and kill it. It's there. It doesn't go. It doesn't die. It's there. It exists. What else? Another time when I went up to heaven to visit my grandmother, well, I went to sleep here on earth, and I woke up, and we were at a market, and my grandmother was at this bread machine, like she was putting something in this, like this thing, and out came a loaf of cinnamon raisin bread. So I guess my grandmother liked cinnamon raisin bread, and we were in like a marketplace, but no one bought anything. It's like you could go there and get your heart's desire or something in some weird way. Like you could just go in and purchase things. And another thing I noticed in heaven is that people were from different timelines. Like I noticed one guy when me and my grandmother walked out of this market into the street. One guy was dressed like how the movies show people dressed in Bible days. You know, so I can tell he's been there for a long time. Like people in heaven, it's like they look how they perceive themselves. Or I don't know how to explain that. Like it's almost like if you always wore jeans and a shirt, it's like up there you might have that on in some type of way. Also, when we walked outside of the marketplace we was in, I noticed we were in like, I noticed that it looks like a city in some way. I saw buildings, big, huge buildings, like buildings you'll see downtown in Washington D.C. or downtown or somewhere else, and you could tell that the buildings weren't built. Everything, no, none of the buildings in heaven are built. It's like it's just created. Like it's no, you can look at it and see, wow, this building wasn't built. It was just created. It's no blocks. It's like it's built. It's like it's, I mean, it's like it's created. Like heaven looks like it's just created. Nothing is built. Nothing is like, nothing dies. Nothing. You see no sign that a tree was planted. It's like it just was created. Like things are just created there. Nothing is built there. Um, Also, like, one time in heaven, when I was up there, I remember getting in water. And on earth I can't swim, but in heaven I jumped in this water and I went underneath it. And underneath it, it felt, it didn't feel like water on earth. It felt like air or something. And I was able to breathe water. Like, I was underwater, but I could breathe. Like, I can breathe in and out underwater. Like, heaven is, it's 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 a place that our minds can't even comprehend. Like, if anything from heaven came to earth in its purest form, earth wouldn't even know how to handle that. Like, it's, heaven is a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world. And another thing about heaven is, when you go there, it's not like the first day on the job or first day of school. You feel like, oh, you're new there. You feel like you're at home. It don't feel foreign. You feel like you belong there. Like, you feel like you're home. And when you hear people saying like things, when a person passes away here and say things like they're going home, like, they really go home. Like, in heaven, you have no worries. Like, even though I know I'm in heaven, and I'm here, in a supernatural place, and I didn't even think about my life on earth. Like, it's it's a place where you don't think about nothing else. Like, if you do think about someone on earth, cause okay. All right, right now, those in heaven. This is a revelation that God gave me, and I really need a whole session to tell you it. But I'm gonna give you a little bit. Those in heaven right now, they still remember us, and they still can visit us. Like, God would allow certain loved ones to visit us, talk to us. He'll even allow us to communicate through dreams and things like that. Allow you to visit in dreams, them in heaven, and things like that. And it's going to be that way until that final, the end, when everything on this earth is destroyed and heaven comes on earth, and the final judgment has happened. And that's when we'll be like, okay, it's kind of hard to describe to you guys. Lord, help me, Father. I'm gonna have to do another video. So follow me on the next video. It's gonna be the revelation of heaven, and I'll go a little deeper into that, if the Lord's will. I'll go a little deeper into that. Alright, God bless you all, and thank you for tuning in.